Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American coins, specifically a truly remarkable coin that stands out in both historical significance and value. The Washington quarter dollar Fort Moultrie 2016. If you're into coin collecting or just someone who loves learning about unique pieces of American history, this video is for you. Stick around until the end, because the value of this coin will truly surprise you. So, let's get started. The Washington quarter, one of the most recognizable coins in the United States, has a history that stretches back to 1932. But it wasn't until 2016 that a special series of quarters was introduced, focusing on the U.S. national parks. This year marked a significant milestone with the release of the Washington quarter dollar Fort Moultrie 2016, which we'll be diving into today. But first, let's set the stage by understanding what makes this particular quarter so unique. The history of Fort Moultrie goes all the way back to the Revolutionary War. Located in Charleston, South Carolina, Fort Moultrie was the site of several important battles during the American Revolution, most famously the Battle of Sullivan's Island in 1776. During that battle, a young American force successfully defended the fort, and this victory was a key moment in the early days of the Revolutionary War. This historic fort is now part of the National Park Service, and its importance to American history is immense. In 2016, the U.S. Mint released the Fort Moultrie design as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program was initiated in 2010 to showcase U.S. national parks and historic sites, with each year's releases focusing on different locations. The 2016 release, which honored Fort Moultrie, was the 35th coin in this series. When you first lay eyes on the Washington quarter Fort Moultrie 2016 coin, one of the first things you'll notice is the stunning design. The reverse features an image of Fort Moultrie itself, with the fort's distinctive structure clearly visible. A cannon, symbolizing the fort's role in defense, stands as the focal point of the design. Behind the fort is the ocean, a reminder of the crucial strategic location of Fort Moultrie. The inscription, Fort Moultrie, appears above the image, with the state of South Carolina and the year 2016, marking the release of this quarter. The obverse of the coin, as is standard with Washington quarters, features a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design on this side has remained unchanged since 1932, making it one of the most consistent and recognizable symbols in American currency. Washington's portrait was originally created by artist John Flanagan and has been featured on every quarter since the coin's inception. In terms of minting, the Washington quarter Fort Moultrie 2016 was struck by the United States Mint in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a total mintage of approximately 190 million quarters across all releases of the year. This means that while it was released in large numbers, the specific design of Fort Moultrie still remains a piece of history that collectors have been clamoring to add to their collections. But let's dig a bit deeper into what makes this coin stand out not just as a piece of history, but as an item of immense collector value. The first thing to consider is that any coin that is part of the America the Beautiful series tends to attract attention. These coins are more than just currency. They're miniature works of art that encapsulate the history and beauty of the United States. For collectors, that makes them especially desirable. But even within the America the Beautiful series, the Fort Moultrie 2016 coin stands out. As a coin that commemorates a battle won in the early days of America's fight for independence, it carries an emotional and historical weight that many other quarters in the series simply don't. Add to that the fact that it's part of a limited release of a national park coin, and it's no wonder that collectors have taken an interest in this piece. Now, let's talk about condition. Like all collectible coins, the value of the Fort Moultrie 2016 Washington quarter is heavily influenced by its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth significantly more than those that have been worn down through regular use. In fact, a coin that has been graded as proof or uncirculated will command a much higher premium. On top of that, coins that are part of special minting programs or are released in limited quantities tend to appreciate in value over time. For this coin, the high-grade specimens, particularly those with a deep, brilliant finish, are sought after by collectors. In fact, You might be surprised to learn that a few Fort Moultrie 2016 quarters have sold for astounding amounts at auction. While most can be found in the $5 to $20 range for standard, circulated versions, some exceptional specimens have been known to fetch much higher prices, and now, here's the big reveal. An extremely rare, high-grade Fort Moultrie 2016 quarter has recently sold for as much as $18,000. Yes, you heard that right, $18,000 for a single quarter. What makes this coin so valuable? Well, as we mentioned, its limited release, its historical significance, and its exceptional condition play a big part. Coins that are in flawless condition or that have been given special minting treatments, such as those created for collectors or released in special sets, are rare and therefore command a premium price in the market. As with any collectible, though, value can fluctuate depending on demand, condition, and market trends. So, while your average Fort Moultrie quarter might not be worth quite as much as that $18,000 coin, the potential for appreciation over time is certainly there. Coin collecting is a long-term hobby, and many collectors enjoy seeing their collections grow in value year after year. So, if you happen to have one of these quarters tucked away in your collection, or if you're considering adding one to your portfolio, it's worth paying attention to its condition. And if you come across a high-grade or proof version, don't be too quick to let it go. This coin might be more valuable than you realized. In conclusion, the Washington Quarter Fort Moultrie 2016 is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a work of art, and a potential investment. With its connection to the Battle of Sullivan's Island and the rich legacy of Fort Moultrie, this coin has captured the hearts of collectors. Whether you're looking to add it to your collection for historical reasons or hoping to capitalize on its potential value, it's clear that the Fort Moultrie 2016 quarter is a coin worth paying attention to. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever encountered a coin with an incredible story or value. We'd love to hear from you. Top 2. We're diving deep into the Washington Quarter Dollar Theodore Roosevelt 2016, a coin that combines incredible historical significance, an artistic design, and potential value that may leave you in awe. Stick with us until the end, because the value of this coin is bound to surprise you. Now, when you think of American presidents who made an impact on the nation, Theodore Roosevelt is certainly one of the first names that come to mind. A Rough Rider, a conservationist, and the 26th President of the United States, Roosevelt's legacy is larger than life. He was a man of action, known for his dedication to environmental conservation, trust-busting, and of course, his famous "speak softly and carry a big stick" philosophy in foreign policy. Roosevelt's influence is still felt today in various aspects of American life, from the national parks he helped establish to his lasting impact on the U.S. government. But what does all of this have to do with a Washington quarter-dollar coin from 2016? Well, in 2016, the United States Mint honored Theodore Roosevelt as part of the National Park Service's centennial commemoration, which celebrated the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service. As part of this series, the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota was selected as one of the sites to be featured on a special coin. The 2016 Washington Quarter was chosen to represent this iconic moment in history, marking not just Roosevelt's impact, but also the beautiful landscapes he fought to preserve. Before we dive into the design of the coin, let's take a step back and understand the background. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park is located in the rugged Badlands of North Dakota, and it's a place where Roosevelt himself once traveled. It's here that he developed his deep passion for conservation, something that would define his presidency. The park is home to breathtaking scenery, diverse wildlife, and of course, the legacy of the man who helped protect vast expanses of the American wilderness. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. The 2016 Theodore Roosevelt Quarter features a stunning design that captures the spirit of both Roosevelt and the park that bears his name. On the reverse side, you see a magnificent scene from Theodore Roosevelt National Park, showcasing the park's rugged landscape, including rolling hills, a river, and wildlife. In the foreground, a bison, a symbol of the American wilderness, graces the design. The words Theodore Roosevelt, along with North Dakota and 2016, are inscribed, further emphasizing the connection to Roosevelt's conservation legacy. This design, created by artist Richard Masters, is a tribute to Roosevelt's vision for the preservation of America's natural beauty. What makes this coin especially powerful is that it links his presidency to a tangible place, the park itself, a place that symbolizes Roosevelt's commitment to preserving the country's wild places for future generations. On the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The obverse remains consistent across all Washington quarters, keeping a sense of continuity in U.S. coinage. Washington's image has been the standard for the quarter since 1932, symbolizing the nation's first president and, by extension, the stability and founding principles of the United States. When we move on to the minting details, it's important to note that this quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a multi-year series of coins honoring national parks and other historic sites across the U.S. beginning in 2010. The U.S. Mint released a new coin every year, each one featuring a different national park or landmark. The 2016 Theodore Roosevelt coin is one of 5 releases for that year, and it's one of the most talked about thanks to the reverence for Roosevelt and his lasting impact on conservation. This coin was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with an initial release of millions of quarters. As with any coin, the number of coins minted plays a role in its overall availability. With such a high mintage, you might wonder if this coin would become valuable, especially when considering that many collectors focus on coins that were minted in limited numbers or with special characteristics. However, the true appeal of this coin comes from its historical significance and its artistic design. Coins that commemorate national parks, historic figures, or events tend to be more popular among collectors, and the Theodore Roosevelt 2016 quarter is no exception. Its association with one of America's most beloved presidents, coupled with its striking imagery of the wilderness, gives it a sense of importance that transcends its original face value. And here's where things start to get interesting. While the typical Theodore Roosevelt 2016 quarter might not initially be worth much more than a few dollars, its value can skyrocket depending on factors like condition, rarity, and demand. Collectors are especially keen on coins that are in uncirculated or proof condition, as these examples have been kept in pristine shape and show little to no wear. Now, let's talk about why this coin has garnered such attention from collectors. First, there's the fact that it's part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which automatically makes it a collectible item. But beyond that, it's Theodore Roosevelt himself. This is a president who shaped the nation's natural legacy, who worked tirelessly to create national parks and wildlife refuges, and who is widely regarded as one of the greatest U.S. presidents in history. A coin bearing his name and connected to a site he loved is bound to draw the interest of anyone who appreciates the legacy of American conservation. Furthermore, certain versions of this coin, particularly those with a high grade or special finishes, are highly sought after. These might include proof versions or coins from limited edition sets. For example, a coin in perfect, uncirculated condition, graded at MS70, the highest grade a coin can receive, is worth far more than a standard quarter. In some cases, rare versions of the Theodore Roosevelt 2016 quarter have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. Are you ready for the big reveal? Some of these rare, high-grade Theodore Roosevelt 2016 quarters have sold at auction for prices as high as $20,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $20,000 for a single quarter. What makes this even more impressive is that this is not just any quarter. It's a symbol of a president's legacy, a reminder of the unspoiled American wilderness, and a collector's dreams. Oh, what makes these quarters so valuable? It comes down to rarity, condition, and of course, demand. The market for rare coins is highly fluid, and the right combination of factors can result in a huge increase in value over time. As collectors continue to search for these stunning pieces of history, you can be sure that the Theodore Roosevelt 2016 quarter will remain a sought-after coin for years to come. To wrap things up, the Washington $quarter Theodore Roosevelt 2016 is much more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a tribute to one of our greatest presidents, and a beautiful work of art that captures the essence of America's natural beauty. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a newcomer just starting out, this quarter is a perfect addition to any collection. And who knows, if you've got a rare, high-grade version, you could be sitting on an impressive investment. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating coin and want to discover more rare treasures from American numismatics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And if you've ever encountered a coin with a surprising value or an incredible backstory, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your experiences. Top 3. We're about to take you on an incredible journey into the world of U.S. coinage, specifically focusing on a coin that might be sitting in your collection or perhaps in your pocket right now, the 1993 Washington quarter dollar. If you're a coin collector or just curious about the hidden treasures in your spare change, you're in for a real treat. Stick around until the end, because the value of this coin might just blow your mind. The Washington quarter dollar has long been one of the most iconic and enduring coins in U.S. history. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has seen many design changes over the years, but its stature as one of the country's most recognizable coins remains unchanged. Whether it's in your pocket change or displayed in a collector's vault, the Washington quarter carries with it a sense of history, legacy, and tradition. So, why the 1993 Washington quarter in particular? What makes this year's issue stand out from all the others? Well, let's take a step back and explore the coin's historical context before we dive into the details. By 1993, the Washington quarter had undergone many design revisions since its introduction. The most notable of these revisions occurred in 1992, when the U.S. Mint began issuing a series of quarters that featured special designs, often honoring important national events, themes, and symbols. This was part of the 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999, but the groundwork for special quarter designs was already being laid in the early 1990s. In 1993, the Washington quarter continued to feature the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. The reverse, however, remained unchanged since 1976, with the eagle perched on a branch, symbolizing American strength, unity, and freedom. This consistency in design helped to reinforce the Washington quarter's place as a familiar and beloved piece of American currency. The 1993 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, and at first glance, it might seem like a coin that's readily available and not particularly rare. But here's the catch. While millions of these quarters were produced, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to delve into the world of numismatics, you'll quickly realize that the true value of a coin isn't always tied to its rarity. Instead, it often depends on factors like condition, minting errors, and historical significance. And that's where the 1993 Washington quarter really begins to shine. Let's talk about the design. The obverse of the 1993 Washington quarter remains as iconic as ever. You see George Washington, the first president of the United States, gazing proudly toward the horizon. Washington's face is flanked by the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and the coin's year of minting, 1993, is boldly displayed underneath his portrait. Above Washington's head is the inscription "United States of America." This side of the coin is both simple and powerful, perfectly embodying the enduring legacy of Washington, the man who helped found the United States. On the reverse, we again see the eagle, an enduring symbol of the United States. The eagle is perched on an olive branch, signifying peace, while the coin's motto, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, reminds us of the unity that has defined the nation since its inception. The reverse also displays quarter dollar to indicate the denomination. This eagle design, while not particularly unique to the 1993 quarter, is certainly iconic and has been used on quarters since 1932. But now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the coin's minting details. The 1993 Washington quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver produced the majority of the mintage, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof versions of the coin, which were sold in special proof sets. The total mintage for the 1993 Washington quarter reached approximately 1.2 billion coins across all 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. With such a large mintage, it might seem like this quarter is just another common piece of change, but here's the thing. Condition matters immensely. In coin collecting, the condition of a coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Most of the 1993 Washington quarters you'll encounter are in what's called circulated condition, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions and have a certain amount of wear and tear. But there are always a few coins that escape circulation in pristine condition. These coins are known as uncirculated or mint state coins. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used for transactions and have been kept in their original, flawless condition, often by collectors or the U.S. Mint itself. So, how do we determine the value of a 1993 Washington quarter? The key lies in its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A high-grade 1993 quarter can fetch a much higher price than one that shows signs of wear. And here's where things get really interesting. While most 1993 Washington quarters are relatively inexpensive, certain high-grade specimens, especially those with a pristine finish, can be worth thousands of dollars. Additionally, there have been reports of some specific error coins from 1993 that have sold for large sums. Error coins are exactly what they sound like. Coins that have a flaw, such as a misstrike or a double die, which can make them incredibly valuable to collectors who seek out these unusual anomalies. If you happen to find a 1993 Washington quarter with a unique error, it could fetch a much higher price at auction. But what about the most impressive fact? Some collectors have managed to find rare, uncirculated 1993 Washington quarters in near-perfect condition, and these coins have reached astronomical prices. Are you ready for the big reveal? A high-grade 1993 Washington quarter, one of the rarest of its kind, has recently been sold at auction for an unbelievable $38,000. Yes, $38,000 for a single quarter. While this amount is certainly an outlier, it demonstrates just how much certain coins can appreciate in value when they meet the right conditions. The 1993 Washington quarter, when found in pristine, uncirculated condition with no flaws, is an incredibly valuable piece of American history. What makes this particular coin worth so much? The main reasons are its rarity in high-grade condition, its appeal to collectors, and the sheer demand for coins from the Washington quarter series. Given that the 1993 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, most coins are simply not rare enough to command a high price. However, a flawless example of this coin has become a sought-after treasure among numismatists. If you happen to have a 1993 Washington quarter sitting in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. Is it in mint condition? Does it have any errors or unusual features? If so, you may be holding on to a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. In conclusion, the 1993 Washington quarter dollar is a perfect example of how coin collecting isn't just about the rarity of the coin itself, but also about condition, preservation, and timing. What might seem like just another piece of change could potentially become an incredible investment. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned pro, there's always something exciting about discovering the hidden value in coins that have been circulating for years. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 1993 Washington quarter, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another update. If you've ever found a rare coin or had a surprising discovery in your collection, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear about your experiences. Until next time, happy collecting and keep an eye on those quarters. You never know what you might be holding on to. Top 4. We have an exciting and fascinating topic that I'm sure will catch the attention of coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1995. This coin is not just another piece of U.S. currency. It's a part of the rich tapestry of American history, design, and numismatics. You might be surprised to learn that this quarter, seemingly just another coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, could be worth far more than its face value. So, stick around until the end because we're about to reveal something truly remarkable. The value of a rare 1995 Washington quarter can reach up to $33,000. Let's start by setting the stage with a little bit of history. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. Initially, it was designed by John Flanagan to mark the bicentennial of Washington's birth. Over the years, this quarter has seen a number of design changes and releases, but one thing has always remained the same. It continues to feature the proud image of George Washington, who symbolizes the very essence of American independence and unity, BY 1995, the Washington quarter was a familiar coin, part of the day-to-day life of every American. However, there's more to the story than just the standard quarters you'd find in your change. While the Washington quarter remained the same in terms of its general design, featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, 1995 was the year that saw a surge of interest in certain variations and limited edition releases. In fact, the 1995 Washington quarter stands out in the world of coin collectors for several reasons. Though it was not part of a major commemorative release or a special program like some other quarters from different years, the 1995 quarter has become one of the most sought-after coins in the Washington quarter series due to certain key factors. Let's take a closer look at the design, minting details, and what makes this coin so interesting. The design of the 1995 Washington quarter is similar to the standard issue that we've come to know over the years. On the obverse, you see George Washington's portrait, his face carefully rendered in the classic style created by artist John Flanagan. Washington's dignified and stoic expression symbolizes the birth of a nation and the endurance of its ideals. Above his head, you'll see the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and 1995, the year this particular coin was minted. This date is crucial in understanding why this coin has become so valuable. On the reverse side, the design of the eagle remains unchanged from previous years, a powerful symbol of American strength and unity. The eagle is perched on an olive branch, holding arrows in its talon, representing both peace and readiness for defense. The inscription on the reverse reads, United States of America, e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one, and quarter dollar, signifying the coin's denomination. What's important to note here is that despite the 1995 Washington quarter looking like a regular, everyday coin, it was actually struck in huge numbers, meaning it didn't seem particularly rare at first glance. The Philadelphia Mint produced most of these quarters, along with the Denver Mint. However, a significant part of the story behind the value of this coin lies in the circumstances of its minting and the rarity of certain specimens. Let's talk about the minting details. The United States Mint produced the 1995 Washington quarter in large quantities. In fact, over 1.5 billion quarters were struck in total between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These were released into circulation, so most of the coins you'll come across today are in circulated condition, with varying degrees of wear. But here's the twist. Not all 1995 quarters are created equal, as with any collectible coin. The value depends on its condition, rarity, and whether it has been preserved or altered in any way. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in everyday transactions and show no signs of wear, are worth far more than the average circulated version. A coin that has been kept in pristine condition, often in protective cases or special sets, can command a premium price in the marketplace. There's another key element to consider here: the proof versions of the 1995 Washington quarter. These are not the regular quarters you'd find in your pocket change. Proof coins are specially made by the U.S. Mint for collectors. They're struck multiple times to ensure a crisp, high-quality finish with deep mirrors and sharp details. Proof coins are not intended for circulation, and they are generally only available through special proof sets, often sold directly by the Mint. These coins are highly prized among collectors and often carry a significant value. So, now we get to the exciting part: the value of the 1995 Washington quarter. You might be thinking, I have a 1995 quarter, so what's the big deal? Well, most 1995 quarters, even in uncirculated condition, might be worth just a couple of dollars above face value. But for those rare high-grade specimens, particularly the proof versions, the value can skyrocket. As I mentioned earlier, certain 1995 Washington quarters have sold for as much as $33,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $33,000 for a single quarter. But why does this happen? The most important factor here is the rarity of certain high-grade specimens, particularly those with proof-like qualities or special minting errors. When a coin is produced with a flaw, whether it's a double die, a misstruck coin, or a die crack, it becomes even more desirable to collectors. These error coins are often far rarer than regular coins and can command much higher prices in the marketplace. Now, you might be asking, how do I know if I have one of these valuable 1995 Washington quarters? The key is in the coin's condition. If you have a 1995 quarter and it looks almost brand new, with sharp details and no signs of wear, then you may want to have it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A coin that is graded MS 65 or higher, on a scale of 1 to 70, could potentially be worth much more than you expect. And don't forget about the proof coins. If you happen to have a proof 1995 Washington quarter, particularly one in a sealed proof set, it could be worth several $100s or more, depending on the condition. Proof coins that have been preserved in pristine condition can often reach high auction prices, especially if they're part of a limited edition set or have any special characteristics that set them apart. So, to recap, while the 1995 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers and doesn't seem rare at first glance, there are certain factors that can significantly increase its value. Uncirculated versions, proof coins, and error coins can all fetch impressive sums, with some examples selling for as much as $33,000 at auction. If you happen to come across a 1995 Washington quarter in great condition, or if you have one tucked away in your collection, it's worth taking a second look. You might be sitting on a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1995 Washington quarter dollar is a perfect example of how a seemingly common coin can hold incredible value in the world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, coins like the 1995 Washington quarter remind us that the value of a coin isn't always determined by its face value. It's about rarity, condition, and sometimes a little bit of luck. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1995 Washington quarter, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another fascinating video on rare and valuable coins. And if you've ever discovered a coin with an unexpected value, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy collecting and keep an eye out for those special coins. You never know what you might find. Top 5. We're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in modern American numismatics, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, this might seem like just another coin, one you've probably encountered in your change. But wait, stick with me, because this coin has a fascinating story, and its value might surprise you. At the end of this video, I'll reveal how a 1983 Washington quarter can be worth up to $66,000. Yes, you read that right. But before we get into the incredible potential of this coin, let's take a step back and explore the historical context and significance of the Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has been in circulation for almost a century. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The original design, created by John Flanagan, features a side profile of Washington, with the familiar eagle on the reverse side. Over the decades, this design remained relatively unchanged, except for some minor adjustments. By the time the 1980s rolled around, the Washington quarter was still a familiar, reliable coin circulating in the U.S. economy. But 1983 marked a particularly interesting year in the history of this iconic coin. The 1983 Washington quarter was produced during a time of change in the United States Mint. There were shifting priorities, innovations in coin production, and heightened attention to coin design. While the design of the quarter itself had remained constant for many years, subtle yet important factors began to play a role in making the 1983 Washington quarter stand out. Whether because of its minting conditions, a few minor design anomalies, or just a little bit of luck, let's begin by looking at the design of the 1983 Washington quarter, which still retains the original features that have made this coin so iconic. On the obverse, we see the classic portrait of George Washington, created by artist John Flanagan. Washington, ever dignified, is depicted in profile, with the inscriptions "Liberty" above his head, and "In God We Trust" on the right side. Below Washington, you'll find the year of minting, 1983, written boldly, confirming the coin's aged. Flanagan portrait of Washington has remained a key symbol of American ideals, strength, resilience, and unity. For nearly 50 years, this design has been an unchanging feature of the Washington quarter series, which is part of what makes the coin so recognizable to millions of Americans and collectors around the world. Above Washington's head is the motto "United States of America," a reminder of the country's unwavering commitment to the principles of democracy. On the reverse side, the coin features an eagle, also unchanged from earlier designs. The eagle, poised and proud, sits on an olive branch, symbolizing peace, while clutching arrows in its talon, representing the nation's readiness to defend itself. This powerful design is accompanied by the inscriptions E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, $quarter, and United States of America. The reverse side of the coin has served as a symbol of strength, freedom, and unity for many decades. It's important to note that in 1983, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters as part of its regular circulation coinage, meaning the number of 1,983 quarters produced was quite large. In fact, the U.S. Mint produced approximately 700 million 1983 Washington quarters across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. With such a large mintage, it might seem at first that the 1983 quarter wouldn't be particularly valuable. After all, coins minted in large quantities are typically the ones you find in your change and don't think twice about. But here's where things start to get interesting. Despite the relatively high mintage of the 1983 Washington quarter, there's one key factor that sets some of these coins apart from the rest, and that factor is condition. In the world of coin collecting, the condition of a coin is everything. While most 1983 Washington quarters were released into circulation and were heavily used, meaning they became worn and damaged over time, there are uncirculated versions that have been preserved in pristine condition. These coins, which have never been in circulation, have sharp details, no signs of wear, and perfect surfaces. And of course, those coins are where the value starts to increase exponentially. But it's not just the regular uncirculated 1983 quarters that have significant value. There are also proof versions of the 1983 Washington quarter, which were specially made for collectors. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies to ensure that the details are crisp and sharp, giving the coins a mirror-like finish. These proof coins are rarely ever used in circulation and are often sold in sets by the U.S. Mint. Proof coins in excellent condition are incredibly desirable among collectors, and the 1983 Washington quarter is no exception. Now, let's talk about the real game changer: errors. Every coin series has the potential for errors during the minting process, and the 1983 Washington quarter is no different. Error coins are particularly valuable because they are rare, and collectors love to find them. For example, some 1983 quarters were struck with what is known as a double die error, where the die that strikes the coin was misaligned, causing the image to appear twice. These types of error coins are extremely rare and can fetch a significant premium, especially if they are in high grade. Additionally, there were a few instances where certain 1983 quarters had uneven or incomplete strikes. These minor mistakes, though seemingly small, can make a big difference in terms of a coin's value. In fact, some of these rare error coins have sold at auction for thousands of dollars. But the most fascinating part of this story is that some error versions of the 1983 Washington quarter have been sold for as much as $66,000 at auctions. Yes, a single coin reaching that mind-blowing price. The reason for this astronomical price is the combination of rarity, condition, and demand. The 1983 Washington quarter, particularly those in uncirculated or proof condition, can be highly sought after by collectors who specialize in Washington quarters, error coins, or coins from specific years. When a coin is as rare as some of these minting errors and in pristine condition, the price can skyrocket. But what makes a 1983 Washington quarter worth up to $66,000? It comes down to the combination of factors. Error coins are exceedingly rare, and collectors who are after that elusive piece will pay a premium for it. Add to that the fact that coins in uncirculated or proof condition are already scarce, and you have a recipe for a very valuable coin. If you happen to own one of these special 1983 Washington quarters, you might just be sitting on a small fortune at SO. How do you know if you have a valuable 1983 quarter? Well, first, you should inspect the condition of your coin. If it's in mint condition, with no signs of wear or discoloration, it might be worth far more than face value. If it's a proof coin, or if you suspect there's an error, such as a double die or incomplete strike, then you should definitely get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Professional graders can determine whether your coin is an uncirculated gem, an error coin, or just an average piece of change. To sum it all up, the 1983 Washington quarter is far more than just a simple piece of U.S. currency. While millions of these coins were minted and released into circulation, it's the ones in exceptional condition, or those with rare errors, that really capture the interest of collectors. And if you have a 1983 Washington quarter that's been preserved in mint condition or has a unique error, you could potentially be holding onto a coin worth $66,000 or more. So, next time you come across a 1983 quarter in your collection, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be the key to an unexpected treasure. As always, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 Washington quarter, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. And if you've ever found a rare coin or had a surprising discovery, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories.